John sat at the kitchen table, staring at the small, worn wallet in front of him. It had been his wife's, and he had found it tucked away in the back of her dresser drawer after she passed away. He had always known her to be a private person, and he had respected her wishes to keep certain things to herself. But now with her gone, he couldn't help but feel a sense of curiosity about the contents of the wallet. As he slowly opened it, he was surprised to find a folded piece of paper tucked away in one of the compartments. His hands shaking, he unfolded the paper and read the words written in his wife's familiar handwriting. What he read changed his life forever. He couldn't believe the secrets that had been kept from him all these years, and he was left to wonder how his wife's revelation would impact his future. As he sat there, lost in thought, he couldn't shake the feeling that something sinister was at play. Was his wife's death truly an accident, or was there something more sinister at work? He knew he had to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. John's mind was racing as he read the words on the folded piece of paper. His wife had always been a private person, but he had never suspected that she had been keeping such a major secret from him. According to the note, his wife had other family members that she had never mentioned to him. She wrote that she had been estranged from them for many years, but that she had always hoped to one day reconcile with them. John couldn't believe what he was reading. He had always thought that he knew his wife better than anyone else, but now he was left questioning everything he thought he knew about her. He sat at the kitchen table, staring at the note in disbelief. Who were these mysterious family members, and why had his wife kept them a secret from him? He knew he had to find out more, and he made up his mind to do whatever it took to uncover the truth. As he stood up from the table, he couldn't shake the feeling that something sinister was at play. He had always trusted his wife, but now he couldn't help but wonder if there were parts of her life that he had never truly understood. He knew he had to find out more, no matter the cost. With a sense of determination, John set out to follow the lead provided by the note in his wife's wallet. The address written on the paper led into a small, unassuming house on the outskirts of town. As he approached the front door, his heart was pounding in his chest. He had no idea what he would find on the other side, but he knew he had to see it through. He took a deep breath and knocked on the door. A few moments later, it was answered by a woman who looked to be in her early 60s. "Can I help you?" she asked, eyeing him warily. "I'm looking for someone," he replied, his voice shaking slightly. "I think you might be able to help me. My wife recently passed away, and I found a note in her wallet with this address on it. Do you know anything about it?" The woman's expression softened, and she nodded. "Yes, I do. Please come in." John followed her inside, his mind racing with questions. Who was this woman, and how was she connected to his wife? As they sat down in the living room, the woman explained that she was John's wife's long-lost sister. She had been estranged from the family for many years, but had always hoped to one day reconcile with her sister. John was stunned by this revelation. He had no idea that his wife had even had a sister, let alone one that she had been estranged from. As he listened to the woman's story, he couldn't help but feel a sense of guilt for not knowing more about his wife's past. He vowed to do everything he could to make amends and heal the rift between the sisters. As he left the house that day, he knew that his life would never be the same. He had learned a shocking truth about his wife, and he was determined to uncover even more about her past. As John listened to his wife's sister tell her story, he couldn't believe what he was hearing. It turned out that she had been estranged from the family for many years because she was sick and the rest of the family didn't want the children to experience the loss of their aunt. John was heartbroken by this revelation. He couldn't believe that his wife had kept such a major secret from him for all these years. He couldn't imagine the pain and loneliness that she must have felt, carrying this burden on her own. Despite his sadness, John was determined to do everything he could to heal the rift between the two sisters. He knew that he couldn't change the past, but he could work towards a brighter future. As the years passed, John's children grew and learned to accept the loss of their aunt and mother. They were strong and resilient, and they learned to cherish the memories of their loved ones. John was proud of the way his children had grown and learned to cope with loss. He knew that it had been a difficult journey for them, but he was grateful for the way they had learned to be strong and compassionate people. As he watched them grow and thrive, John couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude and love for his family. He knew that he had been through a lot of challenges in his life, but he also knew that he had been blessed with a loving family. As he looked back on all that had happened, John knew that he had learned a valuable lesson about the importance of family and the importance of being there for those we love. He vowed to always be there for his children, no matter what life threw their way. Despite all of the challenges he had faced, John knew that he was truly blessed. He had a loving family, and he knew that they would always be there for him, no matter what.